So, welcome back to Stella Rosebella, where I talk about the latest Asian drama, music, and shows. This time, I am not gonna be talking about dramas. I am going to talk about my show. Not my show, but a show that I'm currently watching right now, and I am in 11. It's called 这就是街舞3. In English, it's called Street Dancing of China 3. And why season 3 I'm watching it? I knew about the show for a very long time. The coaches, the team leaders, I love all of them. Lei from EXO, Jackson Wang from GOT7, Wang Yibo from Munich, and Zhong Hanliang, Wallace. They're all the team leaders, the dancers. They're all dancers. But if you know Lei, Jackson, and Yibo, maybe because of the Untamed or Unique, his group, you all know that, like, in terms of dancing, it's amazing. Wallace, I actually didn't know he danced until I watched the show, and I was like, oh shoot. I was like, that is amazing. It's so cool. But the theme of this season is like love and peace. Like, for love, you fight, you dance for love, along those lines. That is the translation I'm gonna give you. But I love dancing shows because, for me, as an Asian American, I feel like we don't get as much, obviously, you know, a lot of people know this, we don't get as much representation in mainstream media. But if you go onto YouTube, you see this other world of dancers, comedians, like singers, actors, a lot of these creators, everyone on the internet. It's changing a little bit by a little bit. So for me to watch this show, I was like, wow, Asian people are amazing. And you can dance and everything like that. It's so cool. And for me, I was just like, wow, majority are Asian, which I'm like, yes. But other than that, I feel like this show really, like, for me, it shows me the different types of dances. So I love dancing. I used to dance as a kid, ballet. Do I love it? No.
Do I remember any of the moves? No. Did it help me growing up? No. So, yeah, basically.
And I feel like this is sort of like, I can just imagine myself as one of the dancers and doing like popping and like locking and all these things. And it's like, ugh, I love it. And it's just like really fun to see, because the format of the show sort of changed this season comparing to the previous seasons. I didn't really watch the previous seasons that much, but this season I've been watching like weekly. And you can find it on YouTube. I'm just gonna tell you that. You can find it on YouTube. And I have to say, like, this season, there's a lot of games and stuff involved in terms of, like, the leaders have to, like, do stuff in order. So for each player for each contestant to be on their team, like, they have to go to, like, whichever, like, team, like, coach that they want, whichever team leader they want. They go in a sort of, like, audition to be on their team, and they only have a limited number of, like, towels, like small ones, to give to the contestant. If they give it to you, the leaders give it to you, then they're like, okay, you're on my team. So right now it goes to the time when all the leaders are just like sort of like competing, not really fighting, but they want like certain contestants on their teams, and they give them like a certain amount of time, and they have to do like games and everything to, like, you know, get to have those contestants on their team. So that's where this episode is up to right now. The show is up to right now. The one that's going to air this weekend, actually, is the elimination. It's coming right now. I feel like the previous one also had it, but I may be wrong. But this coming episode is going to be eliminating like people, and you can see the team leaders are having like a difficult time to choose who to eliminate because they chose these contestants. They know how awesome they are. They know these like dancers are amazing, and so yeah. And I feel like for me, if this show, I see a different side of all the team leaders. Lei, I know that he's, for some reason, I think like when he has been really active, like I know he's in EXO, but when he's in China, he's like more active in terms of like his individual activities, obviously. And like he like also like dances, and like in his like work, you see like his songs and everything. Oh, the dance moves. Oh my god. I was like, what? As for Jackson, GOT7, he has been promoting in China and in Korea with GOT7 as well. And I feel like for him, for me, I knew he was really into dancing because of sort of like, I feel like through the shows that he's been involved in China, it's been really into like, first it was like about like, because in the shows, because he speaks Canto and all the shows are in Mandarin, sometimes the pronunciations of certain Cantonese words would go into his Mandarin. So people are like, what are you saying? And he has to describe it, and or some words that he doesn't understand, and he has to use English to like sort of like 代替, like what I'm doing right now, to replace the Chinese word that he doesn't remember. And so sometimes people won't understand what he's saying because there's Canto into the Mando. I understand what he's saying and also what he was trying to express in Chinese, because sometimes his Chinese grammatical structure are into like English, so I sort of like understand like what he's trying to say, and I was like, bro, dude, I totally understand you in terms of like grammatical and like the language and like the switching between all those languages. And I was like, it's like really amazing to see. Like, I know like he said he wanted to focus on like music, and like, you know, dancing has been one of his things because of the work that he's put out before in China. And as for Wang Yibo, I mean, if you've seen him in Produce 101, he was one of the dance instructors on the show, and he was like really not strict, I don't know, he was sort of strict, but he's like really nice at the same. I mean, he's a nice person, okay, but he was like really strict to the contestants. But it was like he had his point, and he had the best interest in mind for them. And yeah, and I know he's always been like into dancing and like everything. And like if you see him MC on another show called 天天上上, he anytime like the MC is like, okay, like Yibo, like show off your dance move or whatever, or something, he has an opportunity to dance on the show. So for me, it's like I see a different side of Yibo on this, because he's not teaching the contestants. These contestants know their stuff, so they know like a lot of different types of like all these different types of dances, and like he's also learning from them, and they're all learning from each other. So it's like amazing to see him and how they're like battling, and I was like, oh, it's like really exciting. And like I love the theme of the season, 为爱而战. So that's the theme of this season. And it's like amazing, and to see the interaction between the team leaders with the contestants. And Wallace, I've seen him like as an actor before, but I never knew he's a dancer. So for me, I was like, whoa, like what? So it was really cool to see him dance, and like he's like such a lovely person. They're all awesome people. And like I think like another thing is like after the show, I don't know when they record that part, but after the show they eat like hot pot together, and so they talk about all these different things and their feelings and everything like that. And I was like, oh, but all in all, you guys should go check out this show, because you see, I feel like you'll learn some stuff in terms of like dance moves and everything, but also different side of the team leaders, because I've seen them in all their previous works. It's really cool to see them just focus on dancing this time. And I don't know, I think like for me it's because I'm a fan of like Lay and Jackson and Yibo, like all of them. So I was like, seeing them every week, it's amazing. Yeah, so it was like really exciting to see Jackson in the show and Lay on the show and Yibo on the show and Wallace on the show. All of them on the show, seeing a different side of them, and also like how much you can see the energy and the passion that they have for dancing, and like how much they, you know, love each other, and but also like respect each other. And yeah, and I felt like the latest episode of where like they're wanting to, you know, get the contestants, and whoever goes to that contestants first, you get that contestant on your team. And the either or before like that, the contestant can choose, like if you give them your team's towel, they can choose like whoever they want. And there are some people that Jackson wanted and Yibo also wanted, and then the contestants, some of them ended up choosing Yibo. Yibo felt really bad. He's like, I'm so sorry, and Jackson's like, it's okay, you know, it's okay. And it was really cute and adorable, and I was like, oh. So yeah, and I feel like this is amazing, and to see the contestants, because all the contestants, they've like either have been on certain like competitions or like certain things. They are really they got awards and everything like that, and it's like really amazing. Or like there's like, I really like this dancer who's like a couple. They're so cute. They're on Yibo's team. Another guy who does whacking. I was like, oh my god, I love that. And yeah, and there's like almost like comedy bits into the show where there's one time where all the team leaders had to wear this earphone, and the other leaders and the MC was in the control room, and he's like, okay, I want you to go up to the contestant that you want to talk to, that you want that person to be on your team. You have to do, basically they have to do everything that they say in the control room, like drink water and like say these things. And for me, I think the funniest one was Yibo. Yibo was the first one to go, so he did everything that like they told him to do in terms of like picking up the water, giving the contestant to drink the water, telling her to drink it, and then hold her in her hand and like not letting go because they told him not to let go. And they're like, you should tell the contestant like, why aren't you leaving? Are you supposed to like practice, but don't like let go of her hand? It was like hilarious. And another one was where Jackson goes to another contestant, and that contestant like speaks English, and he doesn't understand Chinese, and he tells him, he's like, do you know like 香菜, like cilantro? And he's like, do you love it? He's like, yeah, I love it. He's like, do you love it? It was like really funny. It was like so funny. I just died. I was just like, oh my god, this is like amazing. And yeah, and so it's like really funny to see all these things, and like the things that the team leaders have to go through to like do all these things. And then like the latest episode where like they both, like Yibo and Jackson one team, and then Lay and Wallace in one team, they had to do like all these little games, and then after these games, whoever wins or loses, they each get a punishment, but one is like worse than the other. So that was like really funny, and like it was just like really funny, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is such an awesome show. Like I love how the format of the show is this time. So I don't really know how it was before, but I know there's certain parts that are like still there. And I feel like also the directors of the show, the producers, they're really like, because of the hot pot section that they have on the show, it shows how much the directors in them, and they also cried when the contestants, because one of the challenges that they had to do was like in 24 hours they have to come up with a choreo for the whole team to do together, and they battle each other. And so all the dancers did that, and like they're really like touched, and like everyone cried, and I was just like, even I cried, and I was like, oh my gosh, these like people, these producers, these directors, they're like, oh, the staff and everyone. And I was like, I was so touched, and it it was really cool to see the behind the scenes. So I feel like the hot pot section is like the behind the scenes, and so like they talk about like, okay, like what they feel about like what happened and everything, and like how they felt, and I was like, wow, like, this is amazing. But anyways, this is the show that I want to recommend you guys to go watch. And you'll learn something new, and it's like fun to watch like dancing shows and like singing shows. I love watching singing shows, I love watching dancing shows, I love like cooking shows, like all these different things, because it's like new things that you see and you don't really get to see often. That's one thing. And a different side of all the team leaders, that's another thing. And yeah, just like enjoyment. Like, you don't have to think about like what happens, you just watch it and enjoy it. So yeah, and that is what I want to say. And if you watch the show, please let me know whose team you like, which team leader you like, which contestant you like, and also yeah, I'm a bias for all Jackson, Lei, and Yibo, so that's all I'm gonna say. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Yes, and yeah, please leave a comment below of what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!